Festival dedicated to Chinese language film, co-presented by Trinity Cine Asia, Filming East Film Festival, and UK-China Film Collab. My name is Human Chan. I am the founder of the UK-China Film Collab, and we have been organizing panels alongside or as part of the film festival since February. And as the sixth panel today, the topic is going to be dedicated to co-production. What is the future of co-production film between the UK and China? And hopefully we can get some insights and experience from the experts that we have today on the panel. And today, co-chairing the panel with me is my colleague Curtis, also from the UK-China Film Collab. Before we introduce the panelists to you, I'm going to show you a trailer of a film called Special Couple, which is on its way to be certified or on its way to be recognized as an official co-production film. But the film is going to be released, it actually has released in China today officially. So I think it will be a good starting point for us to get some inspiration and imagination about what a co-production film could look like. So please just bear with me. I'm going to share my screen with you. Can you see it? Sorry, just bear with me a moment. Yeah.
Human, we've not got any volume on the trailer.
The sound okay? Was there any sound?
The sound came in halfway through.
But if you're interested in the trailer, you can go back to check on YouTube. It's available at the moment. Special Couple. I'm not showing this film to say that this is the model for co-production, but I'm only using it as a trigger to start our conversation today. So to join us today on the panel, we are very, very honored to have Chantal from the BFI. She's an analyst from the certifying department who deals with, or the department who is in charge with certifying the co-production from the UK side. And we also have Guang Lei from DNEC. So DNEC is the leading VFX special effects post-production company in the UK, and who the company has also worked on numbers of Chinese films before, such as the 800s. And I'm going to pass it to my colleague Curtis to introduce other panelists.
Thank you. We are also joined today by Felix Lowe from Shanghai Global Studios. He is Vice Managing Director at Shanghai Global Studios and also a principal of Skywood International. Skywood International offers a full range of valuation, advisory and turnkey management services pertaining to film and television production studio operations in China. Skyward service lines combine acute film and television industry expertise with global resources to provide valuation, opinions, and intuitive studio operations management solutions for clients. We are also joined by Michelle Chemiao, who is a sixth-generation director who graduated from the prestigious Beijing Film Academy. She originally worked in China before returning. She originally worked in Hollywood before returning to China, and she is the director of the critically acclaimed Daughter of Shanghai, which is available as part of Chinese cinema season. And also, finally, we're joined by Sun Yixi, who is director and writer of Susu, which is a psychological thriller evolving around two Chinese girls' haunted house experience in an English countryside manner. So without further ado, I will pass back to Human to proceed with the panel.
And now we will invite Chantal to do a short presentation about the process of applying for a certification for co-production from the UK. Thank you, Chantal.
Hi. So yes, I'm Chantal Borrell from the BFI certification unit. Can you hear me all okay? Yeah. Okay, so I've got 15 minutes, I think, if I'm right. So I'm just gonna whiz through the UK process. If you have any questions, I'll put up my email address and you can find me on the BFI website as well if you want to contact me. If we don't get through any of the questions, I think there'll be a Q&A. But if we don't get to answer your questions today, then by all means, just contact me, give me a call. And then I'm just going to share my screen very quickly. All right, can you all see that? Yeah, is that good? Cool. Yeah. Okay. So that's my email address, and I'll put it in the chat a bit later as well. So here we go. Technical issues here. Okay, so first of all, you should know, so the certification unit is based at the British Film Institute. So I'm within the certification unit. There's about 10 of us, and we deal with different sectors to do with film, straight off, and the different types of productions. So I'll tell you about the two ways. There are two ways of qualifying for a British certificate in order to be recognised in the UK and access tax release or funding from the BFI. So the two ways are cultural test, where there's one UK production company which is responsible for the entire making of the film or production or video game. And then there's co-production, which is what we're really interested in today. So that's the two separate ways. So you don't do both, you only do one or the other. So co-production is if you're co-producing with another co-producer in another country and you want to be recognized there for tax relief or funding purposes. So that's the two separate ways. So these are the tax reliefs that are available. So we had in the UK, so we have film, and that's for films intended for theatrical release. So that's one tax relief available. We've got high-end television, and that's for TV programs where the budgets are around £1 million per slot time hour, and that's the sort of the threshold that you need to meet for your high-end television tax relief. We've got animation tax relief for television programs. The core expenditure needs to be at least 51% spend on core expenditure, and I'll tell you about core expenditure in a few minutes. We've got children's television programs, and that's for programs aimed at 15-year-olds or under 15 and under. And we've also got a tax relief for video games. Video games, you should know that in terms of co-production, you can't apply as a co-production for a video game yet. So that's not in process. The first four you can structure your production as a co-production, but for video games, it's just cultural test at the moment. Okay, so those are the tax reliefs available. So what is it worth? So the basics you should know is that basically you'll set up your film production company, you'll spend some money, that money will go through the UK company. And then once you get your certificate, you then claim on your eligible spend. So that's the basics. Spend some money, get a certificate, claim with that certificate on the eligible spend. The threshold to claim tax relief is 10% of your core expenditure. Oops. And then it's basically 25% or 80% of the core expenditure needs to be used and consumed in the UK. So when we say used and consumed, that's like if you had a British actor and their fee would be considered by HMRC as part of your eligible spend. But if you take that British actor to America, then HMRC will only consider some of that fee, because that person, that British person, is not being used and consumed in the UK for the entire time. So you've got to think about that when you're looking at, okay, what spend is eligible? It's all about what line items are used and consumed in the UK. That's what the tax relief is based on. Core expenditure, so we're looking at, or HMRC are looking at spend on the production, on the filmmaking costs itself. It excludes things like financing costs, marketing costs. HMRC won't look at costs like that in terms of eligible spend. So again, you have to think about what is eligible for tax relief calculation purposes. The tax relief in the UK is only paid to the UK production company, which is why we say you've got to set up your production company before you start shooting. So that company will be responsible for throughout the whole production. So, because that tax relief is paid to the UK company, it's not paid to an individual. So you can't just have an individual try and claim the tax relief. It needs to be paid to the company. So make sure you set up your company nice and early if you haven't done already. And I think I mentioned before, the tax relief is administered by HMRC, not by us. So we will give you the certificate. You then take the certificate and give it to HMRC when you make your claim. So that's an example, and I hope I got my maths right. So you have, for example, in terms of the tax relief, if it was a UK-China co-production, budget's 1.2 million. Your core expenditure, for example, would be 1 million, might be 1 million. The UK core expenditure comes out at 800,000, and you've got your China expenditure of 200,000. HMRC will look at 25% or 80% of your core expenditure that's been incurred by the UK producer. Sorry, I thought someone had a question. So then that works out roughly, this is very rough, because HMRC will look at the calculation. It works out at 160,000 in terms of the tax relief that you might get back from HMRC. That's a really rough and basic, very basic calculation of the UK tax relief. And again, we can talk about this later, or you can contact me later. So co-production. So I'm going to take you through the co-production process here. An example, just using UK-China treaty. We have many, many treaties with other countries. We have, I think there's about 13, and we also have we also signed up to the European Convention, which has about 40 odd countries signed up. So we can do a lot of co-productions with other countries. We have official treaties for that. So we're just going to look at UK-China. So you should know that there's a separate treaty for film and a separate treaty for television productions between UK and China. You must have basically a production company on both sides. So Chinese party co-producer, and you need a UK party co-producer. Under the treaty, the minimum financial contribution is 20%, and then the maximum is 80%. So you can work out the contributions anything between then. The financial contributions can be reduced to 10%. So a co-producer can come in and just provide 10% of the budget. And that's with the agreement of both authorities agreeing to that. So usually it's 20 minimum, but it can be reduced to 10 and maximum 90. So again, it's just good to, if you're thinking about doing a co-production, come to us first. We'll discuss it, talk you through it. So these are some other areas that we should think about in terms of party co-producers and what we mean by party, third party, non-party, finance only. And again, all of this information is in our guidelines, and I'm happy to take you through it. Don't worry too much about what I'm saying now. We can talk about it later. So third party. So this is, so an example would be a UK-China Canada co-production, because UK has a treaty with Canada, but we also have a treaty with China. So you could put those two treaties together. But in that structure, Canada would be what we call third party. And you've got your minimum and final financial contributions there. Non-party, an example would be UK, China, Argentina, and that's where basically no one has a treaty with Argentina, but you want to work with them. So you can take, so the UK-China treaty allows for you to have a non-party co-producer, and Argentina would what we would be called non-party. And you've got your minimum financial contributions for Argentina there, and what the maximum would be as well. So you just need to make sure, if you're going to enter into a co-production, know what the treaty requirements are and what the minimum and financial contributions are. Finance only, we would call a finance only co-producer like a silent partner. So they are coming to, the table in terms of, sorry, just my TV. So they are coming to the table with just finance, but they're still a part of the decision making. Yeah, they're still part of the co-producer agreement, but it's just they're providing finance and they're not arranging anything. So it's like a silent partner. That's what finance only means. So this is the last bit now. So on the UK side, you need to do 2 stages. You go interim certification. They need to apply 4 to 6 weeks before you start shooting. So you've got to do that on the UK side. That's compulsory. You've got final certification, and you come to us when your production is complete and you apply for final certification so that we could see that you did what you said you were going to do. So it's 2 stages. You must make sure that your co-producer applies to their competent authority at the same time that you do. So we will look at the UK application, and then say the Chinese authority will look at the Chinese application, and we would talk to each other to make sure everyone is happy and that we're all meeting the requirements of the treaty. On the UK side, the turnaround time is around 4 to 6 weeks, but it may vary depending on workload. Like I said before, happy to talk to you about your draft application, see a draft application, talk you through the process before you submit a formal application. It's always good to contact us first, I think, because then we can just point in the right direction. That's a list of documents. But they're all listed on the application form, and that's my email address. So if anyone wants to contact me, you can. You apply online first, and then you send in a hard copy. That's on the UK side. Okay, I think that is it. That was the fastest I've ever done that. So I think that's it.
Thank you very much, Chantal. I'm sure this is very, very useful for our audience to know such insightful information. So as Chantal said, if any of you is interested in putting through a co-production, please feel free to contact her and maybe ask your questions later on. I'm going to push through the agenda now because we have a very tight schedule today. So yes, we now know about the co-production certifying or certification process from the BFI, but we can now also learn a little bit about the post-production parts, how the UK have been collaborating with China and what have they contributed from the post-production field. And now we will invite Guanglei, VP from DNEC, to introduce a little bit about the company and also their ongoing and past projects with China.
Hi, hello everyone. It's very honored to be here, and appreciate Human and Curtis provide this amazing opportunity. So we are DNEC. We are based in the our headquarters is in London. We are not far from the BFI offices, and in fact we have worked with them many times. Just going to run through the introduction of our company. So we are DNEG. So we are a award-winning visual effects facility to provide all these services for film, TV, animation, stereo conversion, VR, AR, immersive experiences. Our company was established in 1998. So over the course of 24 years, we have worked in over 750 titles across in Hollywood, Europe, China, Asia, many. Our headquarters is in London, and we have offices across North America, for example, Montreal, Vancouver, Los Angeles, and we have a few offices in India as well, Chennai, Mumbai, etc., etc. So why choosing us? Because we have quite a bit of experience in working on all the titles, and also as Chantel mentioned, we are very familiar with how the UK tax rebate rules as well. We will be able to help you through the process. In fact, we are attracting many Hollywood film coming to the UK because of this, and also the creativity and the technical expertise we developed over the years. We are pretty confident. We are the industrial leading facility. This one-stop shop for you, no further. So this is where our offices are. If there wasn't this pandemic, there will be a big dot in Beijing, because we are trying to set our Beijing office, but because of this extraordinary time that had to be unfortunately delayed. But it won't be long. We will be in Beijing to meet you all in person. I'm just going to explain the scope of our work. We do provide visual effects for films. For example, the most recent one was Christopher Nolan's Tenet, which has been a pretty well receiving project, and also mentioned the 800 as well. That was one of the Chinese projects we worked on before. We also provide a TV visual effect too. So at this moment, I would love to mention one of them, which is called the three-body problem. So, which was a well-known Chinese IP, which as a Chinese national, I'm hugely proud of that. We are about to start the production with Netflix. So hopefully we won't let the fans down. Again, Fish Animation across all our offices, we have just under 1,000 employees working in animation departments. The one is coming out is called Ron's Gone Wrong, which I have watched it internally. It's very much fun, so you guys should watch it. We serve an animation project ranging from the budget from like a few million US dollars to $100 million US dollars. So we having a very flexible pipeline to provide you a service would be suited for you. Because of this pandemic, the practical shooting is less likely. So which again, on the contrary, it's a big push for the animation project. So we receive a huge number of inquiries from the middle country about how we're going to do that. So we will be working on a few animation projects from China, as well as quite a few minutes episodes of the TV series as well in terms of animation. Stereo conversion, we convert films from 2D to 3D because 3D wise the ticket is slightly more expensive. We cover this We provide this stereo conversion to more than half of all the film released in Hollywood. Okay, next page. And also we have been working for years in terms of the new technology like virtual reality, augmented realities. Our partners, including Google, the Team Lab in Japan, etc., etc. So and also quite often when a film is about to release, we also created this immersive experience for the film. For example, Dunkirk, Assassin's Creed. Before, after the audience experienced the moving picture, they could have a go with this immersive full cover 360 experience. Yes, experimental as well. This is mainly covering our theme park work. For example, the Harry Potter experience in the Universal Studios in Orlando, and also the ones in Osaka as well. We are working with a number of major theme parks, all owners in China, which including the Overseas Chinatown, Sonac, and also the Universal Studio in Beijing. So hopefully we can provide you guys some additional experience in terms of traditional film and TV. So yes, we have received a couple of the awards, and I mean, this all passed now. So hopefully the Chinese film 800 are also being nominated as the upcoming Visual Effects Society Award. So I'll be really glad if we can win that, and that will prove the Chinese production are getting to the top of the pyramid. And also these are our key clients we have been working with. So yeah, we'll have to keep it going. And also these are a few of the franchises we have been working with. For example, the films from Marvel Studio, the Fast and Furious franchise, James Bond, which the latest one, which hadn't been released yet, but it will be a good one. Yeah, so hopefully next time we see you guys, we'll be able to expand this. Yeah, that's the introduction of our company. But if I may, I would love to take two minutes of your time to show you something less boring, which is, where is it? Hold on. Sorry, I'm just get it all set. Sorry about that. I'm terribly sorry. Just give me 2 seconds. My laptop is not responding for some reason. As we say in Chinese, a late meal is always a good meal. So it's worth the wait.
So when Guanglei is preparing, I encourage everyone to share your contact details in the chat and to take this as a networking opportunity as well, to tell everyone what you're doing, what your interests are in co-production. Are you ready, Guanglei? Okay, he is.
I certainly am. Thank you very much to save me from the embarrassment. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so you can see anything impractical, too expensive, too risky, leave them to us. We'll sort it out for you. That's all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Guanglei. So nice to know that DNET
Yeah,
has got a deal from for the 3-body problem with Netflix. It's something that everyone is expecting, I think, very much. So now that we're very honored again to have support from the BFI on this event, I would like to invite Neil Pablo, Director of the International Affairs at the BFI, to say a few words to us about what his thoughts are or visions are about co-production film between the UK and China. Welcome, Neil. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. And thank you, Dr. Hui Manchan, for the great work you've been doing with the UK-China Film Collab and bringing together filmmakers from the UK and China to explore collaborations and also possibilities for co-productions. Obviously, my colleague Chantel is also online. Chantel, who's a certification analyst from the British Film Institute, knows everything that there is to know about co-productions. And we have had a co-production in place with China since 2015. I think only 5 films have gone through that co-production. So events like this, networking events like this, which can lead to greater collaboration between our 2 countries with co-productions, both creative and commercial exchange, are very important. So thank you so much for allowing me to speak at this event, but more importantly for making this event happen. And I also like to wish every success to a special couples release in China. This film is a great example which demonstrates the potentials for film companies in the UK and China to work together on stories, on cultural exchange, creativity. And we do hope that the UK audience will have a chance to watch this film in the near future. We are setting up a global screen fund at the BFI on behalf of the government, which will allow us more resource to help explore these potential collaborations. So I very much hope that with initiatives like this and also the additional support from government, we'll have more co-production films going forward. And I can also see Anna Manzi on the screen as well, who also is from the BFI. So we are well represented and they know a lot more than I do about the discussions that will be had within this forum. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Neil, for your insight and kind words about the panel. I would like next to open the floor for Felix to share some insights about Xiangshan Global Studios as well as Skywood.
Hello, everyone. Is the sound okay? Cool. All right, cool. So I'll go ahead introduce myself. My name is Felix. I work at Shanghai Global Studios as a Vice Managing Director for the International Development Division and also the principal for Skywood. And so 2 topics. One is about Skywood, one is about XGS. So all related, both related to China UK co-pro. So I just want to share my screen with everybody. So let's start with Skywood. So Skywood, here's the first page. Okay, so Skywood is an entity I started in 2018 actually, but registered in 2020. So we provide basically it's a platform niche market in the studio operations and asset management, which is very lacking in the Chinese market. And we last 2 years or 3 years, also working with my partner Justin, we went to several studios. There's about 3,000 studios in China right now, but all of them is nothing compared to Pinewood in UK or any major studio lot in Hollywood. So we see that's a much needed services from us. And also talk about Justin's company, the Mueller Holdings International. We used to run the largest studio in Southwest USA. It's in South Lake, Texas. It's called Studio Las Colinas. So he had 20 years of experience, and we met each other in Dallas, Texas, USA. So we decided to partner together, come to China, come to the Chinese market, and here's our mission. Trying to bring the standard, try to bring how studio operation that's really lacking right now, but as a all this whether it's a co-pro or domestic project, they all need this platform or need our services to provide to the crew members and all the young professionals working on the studio lot. And also we want to partner with all the different entities and also different production companies to enjoy our platform. So have our business model is, first of all, it's a studio operations and asset management. We want to right now at the Shangshan Global Studios, we are having a division. So it's a international development division, because Shangshan Global Studios, I'll introduce later, is the second largest studio in China, and Hongdian is the largest one in terms of the size and also the projects shooting annually on the lot. But Shangshan, we have some famous shows, Chinese domestic TV series, most of like Hongdian dynasty drama. So, but the studio wants to go to next stage. They want to have an international division, so that's why they bring us in. So we provide our studio operations to Shangshan, and also for you guys can see the project facilitators, which means all the co-pros, or if it's a assisted film, which means it's not a co-pro but international project, crews wants to come to China to shoot, use a location. We had one experience in Shangshan Global Studios. It was a Japanese crew shooting The Kingdom, came to Shangshan and just use our backlot and then bring the projects out. So it's nothing to do with co-pro, but they use the location. So we see in the future, there's so many different ways to bring an international component to China. So that's what we think our Skywood will help the studio side and also provide better services to client. And also you guys can see the finance and investment. Definitely we need money in place. And the last but not least, the staffing services. See all the contractors for film and TV projects come to China, how to handle the visa, how to apply for certain permit, and also the insurance, medical, all the different things, housing, where's the all the different amenities around China. Is just a very high entry barrier for all the international crews to come in. We want to be the one who navigate through for the last 2 or 3 years and then keep continuing getting our all the resources. So that way, when international crew comes to China to be ready to shoot the international co-pro, whether it's UK or US or Australia, we can provide these services. We will be the one who talk the same lingo. So that's very important. We feel at this moment that all the studios been lacking. If you want to do the co-pro, you need a component, a international team represent both sides. So, and here's our business model also for all the studios, for new build studios. I don't know how many people is being in China at this moment, but most of the real estate companies wants to get more land and build residential, but the government doesn't allow it. So they need a special component. I'm building a film studio, but then have a cultural park. That way, they can get more land for residential, but they don't have any experience how to design it, how to get the traffic flow for production truck and also for tourists. That's our specialty. We come in to do that design and plan and construction and O&M. And for existing facilities like Shangshan or Hongdian or Qingdao or all the existing studios, some in Hainan, Shenzhen, you name it. So we provide 3 different levels of services. One is exclusive management, which means our team only report to the stakeholders. There's no existing management, or we change management, replace all the existing staff. That's one called exclusive management. And now at Shangshan, we're doing partial management, which means because Shangshan Global Studios is a government-owned entity, we cannot replace them, right? The government cannot just hire our team. They have go through their special channel. So we have a creative way is partial management, which means we have a international development division and work side by side with the domestic division to provide our knowledge and change management, help them to do better services. And the third one is studio rep, which means all the studios being up to a point which they don't need any hands-on management. So we want to do marketing for them. We want to create the whole platform. Think about 10 studios joining or 20 studios joining Skywood, and then Skywood represent all the studios go to different film festivals, because each studio cannot afford to travel and also cannot afford for the booth, for the marketing event. So that's how we come in. We see this market, and just give a little background of the the benchmark. The studio right now is, you can see on the left side, that's what the asset class. Different studio have different size, different amenities. It's not just like hotel, but for the service level, they all pushed to the left, which means they are under their service level compared to their asset, which means if it's a 5-star hotel, they only provide maybe 3 or 4-star services. So it's all from all the details. Our Skywood will get it in and help them, or we do it. So just getting short. Also want to do a centralized hub in Beijing and Shenzhen. One's up north, one's down the south. That's our business model. And here's our past client case in America. That's the studio at Las Colinas. The biggest show was Prison Break, season 2, 3, and 4, shot in our studio in South Lake, Texas. So the secret is we're trying to have a long-term strategy with 20th Century Fox. We signed a 7 years non-show specific deal. That's something we want to work with any major production companies in UK, or any of all the friends join this panel. If you have a project, we just don't want to do a show specific. Well, maybe the incentive can apply show specific, but from our studio side, we want to have a pipeline of project constantly sending to China. That's the way we want to do it. And also we want to incentivize company relocation. We want to incentivize company have a satellite office on the lot. We can work more closer with each other. So, and here's our Shanghai Global Studios. Just give a brief introduction. You guys can see it. So we're the second largest studio, or we call top 2 studios, and most of the backlog, projects coming to the studio lot, Shanghai Global Studios, using the backlog. That's the main draw. But we do have different stages. Has 62 stages with 1 digital stage. Now currently it is a green screen curtain stage, and painting all green. And we have a plan. Well, actually right now we're just doing is upgraded to a LED stage, virtual production stage. Has a LED panel, has a volume and the brain bar set up on our studio lot. So, and also have a water tank studio. And then just have some connections all around the world. We have open gate policy, welcome all the different countries, different all these companies come to work with us in projects, intel, prep. So that's about Skywood. Have any question, here's our contact information. I'll just also write it on the chat. Also Justin's information on there. Now I'm gonna talk about our Shanghai Global Studios. So because this COVID, COVID-19 last year really hit us, we start our international division in Shanghai in 2019 early, but 2020 has been a hard year, of course, for everyone, especially want to do co-pro. We're just trying to bring talent in or foreigners in. It just have to go through quarantine time, and also getting all the reports, and the government needs to issue the PU letter. Curtis knows better than that, so he had that experience. So I mean, 2020 really very difficult for all the different companies. But our studio actually had a growth on the amount of projects shooting on the lot from domestic side, because as everybody knows, in China, the situation get under control very quickly. In which about last year in March, we start officially open our studio with our COVID policy. You guys can see, we put down some aid for crew members, and also for extras, giving them a free location, and also provide some discount. And also we got all the unlocked vendor to join this alliance, trying to provide better services and lower the cost trying to help this all the projects get pass through this difficult time. So last year we had about 189 projects shooting on the lot. The year before, 2018, was 150. So I actually had a 20% or 30% increase on the project. So we still believe in the next few years, China is still gonna be a strong hub for all the projects shooting, and with this COVID situation get under control from around the world, we're definitely looking for all the projects coming to the lot. And one thing I want to have a mention while everybody looking through this photo, I don't know if it's big enough though, I can zoom in a little bit. So in line number 7, the set construction incentive program, that's I think that's going to be very attractive to all the international projects, because existing sets, we have the dynasty sets, you guys can see on the left side, have a little peek. You also can go to our website at xgslot.com. I'll definitely write it in the chat. So existing sets are most of the Chinese dynasty sets. So we probably have a question: how can an international project coming to our studio lot to shoot, let's say, a sci-fi film, or need to shoot a modern scene film, so, or TV series? So our idea is we have this set construction fund from the Shanghai local government. We provide 20 to 50% of the whole set construction budget, but we've seen projects, based on the merit of the project. It's going to be a case-by-case, one-on-one support. We had some project from Tencent, Tengxun Shipin. So Tencent has several dynasty shows on our studio lot. We built the set for about $2 million. So it's about 12 million or 13 million Chinese yuan. Studio spent all the set construction budget. We cover that part just to bring these 3 big budget TV series in. So that's the same way we can catering to international project. So say if it's a $15 million project coming to Shanghai to shoot, we can go up to maybe 10 million for the covering the line item. You don't have to raise that portion of the budget. We a studio gonna put down the money, but definitely under the direction of the art director of the project. So the studio spend that money alongside. It's not a traditional incentive program. You have to apply later. After you spend the money, you have to raise that portion. So the Shanghai Global Studios, we raise that money for you, or we'll have the money sit that on the side. Once your project have all the sort of contract with our studio, we build a set for you. So that's, I think, very attractive. We had a couple projects last year before COVID from Hollywood. They want to build some it's a underwater sci-fi film. They want to build some sets and also have a spaceship and Mars scene, different things. So our studio, we said we can commit it to build a set for you. The logic behind it is we want to run tourism after you guys shooting the project here. Hopefully this TV series or a film can have the the big impact on the market and make the name strong IP. So tourists wants to come here to see the favorite show. So we get most of our revenue covered from the tourism sector. So that's the logic behind why we want to spend that money to build a set. So we're going to build it permanently, build it better quality than just a facade. So that's just all the things I want to share with everybody. But definitely our international division is here to help all the projects coming to the lot, coming to China. Any questions or any suggestions or any ideas wants to share, feel free to drop me my email. I'll definitely type it in to the chat. So that's it.
Thank you, Felix. A very interesting presentation, and I can attest to how difficult it has been recently to come over to China, but I appreciate the great work that's going on at Xiangshan Global Studios and by Skywood. I'd like to next ask Michelle about her experience during filming of The Daughter of Shanghai, because I know that you did come to the UK to film for some parts of that film, which is available as part of the ongoing Chinese Cinema Season Festival.
Yeah, thank you for, inviting me and join this seminar. I think there's a lot to learn because, as a co-productions always need to overcome a lot of barriers, not only the cultural barrier, but also a lot of doing arrangement and organization thing. I just talk from my perspective. I think, between China and UK, there's a lot of things in the content we can share together. Especially, I remembered when I was in 2016, I joined a short program. It's a short program led by Miss Xu Yang and her company with NFTS. So that is during that 2 weeks, actually, I started to get these ideas that I can do this co-production for Daughter of Shanghai, because as some of you might already watch that film, it's about Cai Qing, the legendary icon for, for every woman and for UK and for the Chinese culture. So this is just for the content level, not alone about the co-production value, co-production perspective. So yeah, I think that's a lot to talk about, and I hope like this Chinese film festival, it can bring all us together to share, no matter from the production point of view or for the film, the content itself. It will help greatly to the filmmaker like me.
Thank you very much. We also have Isi joining us, and she has tried to make a co-production film previously. Would you like to share your experience during that?
Okay, actually, my experience is more like based in the UK. So after graduation from University of London, then I started my filmmaking work. Firstly in advertising, and then documentaries, and then feature fictions. So it's all started in 2006, and in 2007, with a few friends and partners, we started Filming East Festival. So we would say we do have a full vision of how the Chinese language films has been screened in the UK, and how the co-production has been pushing forward in this sector. So even 5 years ago, when the UK-Chinese co-production treaty came out, and we introduced this on our festival platform. And my personal experience as a writer-director of feature film was started like 5 years ago, and not 3 years ago now, 2018, I had completed my first feature film called Susu, The House of Secrets. And this film, we got the certification of a British film. So we didn't use the treaty, which is a pity. And so it's a British film, but we went around the world film festivals, and we were screened at Beijing Film Festival. And the lesson we learned from it is, for my next film, for sure, we'll go for the treaty, and we will officially make a co-production film. So at the moment, Susu has not been released in China yet, but we have sold to a few territories at EFM this year, at Berlin, the online festival this year. So if we're lucky enough, we will see the film on a few stream media platforms this year and next year. And my next film is it's a film need to be entirely shot in London, and we will go for step by step follow the treaty advices and try to make it happen. And this treaty and see how it goes. So I think that's a way for filmmakers like me should try. But for Susu, yes, that's a film we entirely shot in England, and partly in London, partly in Birmingham. And we used a crew from 7 different, we counted 7 different countries. And the work language is English, and we got 3 Chinese actresses traveled from China. So if you would like to learn more about our experience on how to make, it's not co-production, but in heart, I think the content, the story is very co-production. It's from both Western and Eastern view to see a strange, entertaining story. And I will leave our website, everything later on the chatting box. So if you would like to chat more later, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to your next work. So I would like to now open the floor for questions to our panelists. If you do have a question, could I ask that you either please raise your hand using the raise your hand function, or if you would prefer not to speak, you can also put the question in the chat box. Thank you. If there are any questions additionally for Chantel from BFI, if you could please email her, just because she does have another engagement just now.
So, hey, Curtis, I have a quick question to Guanglei.
Go for it.
Yeah. Hey, Guanglei, just a quick question. So for the visual effects, have you done any LED style virtual production at this moment yet? Or what's your experience, or what's your expectation for the LED technology? Just want to hear from you.
Yes, DNEG has been spending and also putting resources for the last 5 years or more in terms of visual production. Our creative director, Paul Franklin, who was the twice Academy Award winner, he has been leading that process. I have to say our virtual production technology is probably ahead of our competitors because we are not to the volumetric way of creating the virtual production. So we have been using that technology in one of Paul Franklin's short film, which will be released in May, and then I'm pretty certain the audience won't be able to tell what technology we have been using. But yes, I mean that's the future, and we are happy. We are more than happy to provide that service with our Chinese customers together with the film studios in China as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. We do have a question for EC from Flora, who is asking, why do you consider that it was a pity not to use a co-production treaty for your debut feature?
Right. If we do follow the steps, if we do get a certification as a co-production, then we can easily get into the Chinese market. I mean, on the distribution side, now as a British film, it's much harder to get a ticket. I mean, in China, there's a quota for importing foreign films. So, but if you are a co-production film in China, you can be considered as a Chinese film, so the market will be open to you.
Thank you very much. Brilliant answer. I hope that answers your question, Flora. I do have a quick question I'd actually like to ask Felix if he's still, yeah.
I'm still here.
Perfect, perfect. So what my question is are there any moves being made by Xiangshan Global Studios to increase accessibility to foreign productions that may be interested in taking the co-production route, for example, something like virtual location scouting?
Yes, that's a definitely a trend. I think we have already had something in terms of virtual location scout. We just haven't I haven't find out yet, but the studio did that I think 2 years ago, but I just need to check what's most updated information. But yes, we're trying to do a virtual location scout, especially during this difficult time for people coming to see it, so they can do virtually. We definitely have a plan on doing a Zoom virtual location scout, which I'm holding a 360 camera, or my team all work together. Everyone can join at the same time and ride with us on the golf cart to see what's the backlog. It's pretty amazing. We had a couple of directors coming from Hollywood, and they say it's nothing like Hollywood at this moment. So it's definitely a cool experience for everybody to come here to see this massive backlog. See the battlefield. So that, yes, we do plan to do a virtual real-time location scout, and also we have a VR system, which I probably will share with you, Curtis, and then hopefully you can find a way to share with all the audience later on, so everybody can keep in touch. So yes, that's definitely a next step, because we believe in China at this moment, no other studios like us wants to promote the location, wants to promote the country, wants to do co-pro. We visit, Hengdian, visit Qingdao, visit different studios. We still believe Xiangshan Global Studios will be the best choice for everybody who wants to do co-pro. Whatever your genre is, have a talk with us. We can see how we can better assist you guys.
Thank you. I'll make sure once you share that with me that I do share within my capacities.
Sure.
I would encourage everyone to go onto the Xiangshan Global Studios website and have a look at the still images from the backlot, because it is quite impressive. We have another question from Richard, who is asking, what is the expense and time in getting talent to China? So I guess, Felix, you'd probably be best to start with this one.
At this moment, we haven't had any successful case during this COVID time, because it just doesn't make any business sense bringing talent to China to do the co-pro at this moment. We do have several projects from UK-China co-pro and also Australia co-pro in discussion, but just cannot figure the number out at this moment, because you have to go through 28 days quarantine. And also have to wait for the PU letter issued from the government and do the test. So it's just very difficult. I just would say the expense, you have to add additional expense on the quarantine time. So we just haven't had any real projects willing to take that challenge, really actually bringing projects to China at this moment. So everybody's kind of on hold at this moment. So for the exact amount, expense, and time, I cannot have a clear answer. But the time would adding in for 28 days quarantine in Shanghai or any other country, and also have to calculate the time in for the PO letter to get it in. So that's definitely some factors have to think about. Getting talents outside mainland China to China, even from Hong Kong or Taiwan, still have to go through the same policy. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, the timescale on the PU letter, I believe, is around a month as well. So for purely getting into China, you could be looking around 2 months. We have
so I just have a quick some notes, comments on that time as well. So we had a case from the Canadian team who have a foreigner from who's a Canadian coming from Canada to China to set up the LED stage in our stage 2. So I think he waited about 2 months for the PO letter and also get the visa from the Canada side, and then come to China to quarantine in Shanghai for 14 days. And he comes to Xiangshan, he also get quarantined for 7 days at his hotel locally here. So that's the things I've known. And of course, the quarantine time, you have to pay the hotel yourself.
Yeah. Thank you, Felix. Would any of our other panelists have anything to add to that question as well? If not, then, so I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of our wonderful panelists who have given up their time to come along and help us to discuss the future of co-production between the UK and China. This panel was a part of Chinese cinema season, and you can visit the link that has been put in the chat to visit the festival website and view all the films there. The panel session, just for the question that's coming to the chat just now, will be uploaded to both ChineseFilm.uk and also to the UK-China Film Collab YouTube. And the Chinese cinema season does have currently has 21 films on the platform, but by the end of the season, we'll have over 50 films on the platform. So I'd like to thank the audience as well for their attention, their sharing of their networking, and then also their very interesting questions. So thank you very much.